Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Brianna if you're new here, and today we have a very exciting reading vlog because I am going to be reading only summary books. And to add on to this challenge a little bit more, the book title has to have the word summer in it. I am so excited for summer reading, just summer vibes, summer romances. Maybe there won't be romances, I don't know. But I'm really just looking forward to summer mood reading, and I have quite a few books on my physical TBR that do actually have the word summer in the title, so we are going to tackle those books. If you guys have never seen a reading vlog by me before, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but I will pick usually 3 to 4 books to read in a week, and I will read them, give you guys my thoughts and updates throughout me reading them. All spoiler free. At the end of the book, I'll give you my full review, my rating, what I thought about everything. So let's just get into the video. The first book I want to start for today is The Summer We Ran. This was my book of the month pick for June, and June was just a really busy month for me, so I didn't end up getting to it, but I am so excited for it because I think this is like a childhood friends to lovers, second chance romance, kind of rivals to lovers, because after they dated when they were teenagers, they broke up, something terrible happened, and now 20 years later, they are both running for governor. I think that this is going to be really emotional, like the characters will have a lot more emotional depth than just like a fluffy romance, because I think this is more so like a contemporary romance. So I love when a romance isn't just like fluff and spice. I like when the characters feel like they're real. So this is going to be our first read for this video. Let's get into it. First reading update of today's video, and on The Summer We Ran. I am about 100 pages in, so a good chunk started of it today, and it's definitely really interesting. I'm really liking it so far, honestly. Like the first, I don't know, 20 pages, when it was building up the story at first, I was like, okay, but then after that, it really sucked me in, and I haven't really wanted to put it down since then. So let's talk about what this book is about. It's following Tess, who is now in her 40s, and she is currently running for governor of Virginia, and her running mate, or no, her opponent is Grant, what's his last name? Alexander. And they actually know each other. They have history together because 25 years ago, Tess worked for Grant's mom, very wealthy family, and her and Grant had a little summer fling when she worked for his mom that summer. And all that we know as a reader right now is that something very bad happened, like at the end of the summer, that ended their relationship, that like could have ruined their life. And now they're both running for governor against each other. And if this story comes out about what happened when they were teenagers, like 17 and 18 years old, it could destroy them. It could destroy their careers. It could destroy their marriages. And I'm just like, I want to know what it is that happened. Like, I'm nosy like that. What can I say? I don't know if we're gonna have more romance other than just like the summer romance that we see. It's dual POV, so every other chapter we are switching what year we're in, whether we're in like 1997, I think, when they had their summer fling, and now the summer of 2021 when they're running for governor. And yeah, they're both like happily married. They both have these careers. They have not seen each other. They have not spoken to each other in 25 years when everything went terribly wrong. So I'm not sure if there's gonna be romance between them in the present. Honestly, like I kind of hope that there isn't. I hope the only romance that's in this is like the past tense. So I know earlier I said I thought it was gonna be like second chance romance, rivals to lovers, but I don't know. I'm really interested to see. Again, not that I really want them to be together present day, just because I think they're very, very different. Just their morals and their beliefs are very, very different. And again, they're happily married, so it would be like cheating. And I hate cheaters. I hate the cheating trope. So I very much hope that does not happen, because especially like Tess's husband seems like such a great stand-up guy. Like, he is so supportive and just so sweet with Tess. So it's like, I would hate to see something ruin their marriage. And like, if Grant ruins their marriage, like, I just don't think Grant is worth that, honestly. And I'm only 100 pages in. I've really only seen his 18-year-old character. Haven't seen too much of him in present day, because it's more so like Tess dealing with her own things in present day rather than like Tess and Grant interacting together. I love the past, like, summer POV where it's in the 90s. I don't know, the summer vibes are just so good. Like, that young teenage romance, I just like soak that up. Like, it is so good. And again, not that I really like Grant's character that much, but just seeing them like so young and sweet and just young love, I don't know, I love young love. But again, I can like young love and not be rooting for them in the present. That is probably all I'm gonna read for today. Probably gonna just go get ready for bed and try and get some sleep. So I will be back reading tomorrow. Okay, reading update on the summer we ran. I read a little bit more. Also, I feel like I should mention I'm currently sitting on the floor in my closet. Just thought I would point that out because I know you're wondering. I was just reading outside in my swimsuit, getting a little tan. So I just came in here to clean up my like other clothes. Anywho's, I've been reading outside, and I am now on like part 3 of the book. I guess I didn't realize that there were going to be like separate parts of the book. And also we got Grant's POV for part 2, and I feel like that was I was gonna say very much needed, but like I could have gone without it. But I feel like afterwards I'm like, wow, it is nice to see like Grant's POV about what happened when they were teenagers in love. And now I'm sure we're gonna see like Tess's POV on the aftermath of what happened. But I do think it was interesting just to have like both of their POVs. Well, I guess with Grant's, again, I don't know how to explain this without like telling you too much. Like, everything in the book is starting to unravel. Like, everything from when they were teenagers in love and what happened that summer, and now during their campaign, like, things are starting to get messy and unravel a little bit. Their lives are starting to unravel because of their past that they had when they were teenagers and in love. So I feel like it was kind of insightful to be able to see Grant's POV, because it's his POV when they're teenagers and now like present day as they're running against each other. And I just think it's really good that the author chose to write him in, because before I was all like, I don't like Grant at all. Like, he just doesn't seem like a great person. And while he's still not like my favorite person, I can definitely understand him a little bit more and what he has went through growing up and what he was going through when his love life fell apart with Tess. So, like I said, now we're going to be back into Tess's POV, and I feel like that will be cool, because before we didn't know what this big deal was that happened between them. And now we know, so I think it'll be interesting to see like what was going through Tessa's head and what's going through her head now as the campaign is kind of blowing up. I am really liking the writing style. The chapters are a little bit longer. They're probably like 15 to 20-ish pages on average, but I'm really not minding it because I just feel like the pacing of the writing is done very, very well. It's like simple, but like the characters themselves are complex. And then I also really like the writing, how the two characters are just so contrasting. Like their dynamic is so interesting to read about because Tess grew up very poor. She's still very poor when she meets Grant when they're teenagers, and she is just trying to build a life and a career for herself because she never had money growing up, and she wants to make sure that she can have money and like get an education, get a good job later in life, right? And then Grant has always had money. He comes from a very, very wealthy family. He's always been in that world. And it's just really interesting to kind of see them acknowledge that they're very, very different, but still want to be with each other when they're young and teenagers. Like I said, I like them when they're teenagers. I'm not really rooting for them in present day, and not that there's like anything like that so far, but obviously when people's beliefs and morals are different, like you can still make things work. It just makes things a little bit more difficult, makes things harder to work for. But I don't know, with their history, it would just be really complicated, I think. So that's why I don't really want to root for them in the present day, if there is going to be any romance between them. I don't know. I definitely don't want to say too much and give anything away with the book, but just know I am enjoying it a lot, and I hope to finish it here soon. I think I have like 100 pages left, and I've been able to get through it pretty fast. So I'm probably gonna go try and finish this. Okay, I literally just finished The Summer We Ran, and I really liked it. There are definitely some parts of it I didn't love. Also, both Tess and Grant were so annoying and so frustrating at times. Like, I can see both sides of their story, but also they're just both such stubborn characters, and it's like they each don't understand the other person's side of the story. Like, they're so close-minded when it comes to their past, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that exactly. And then the ending, I'm like kind of annoyed about. I don't feel 100% satisfied with the ending, but overall I did really like it. I think I'm gonna go with a 4-star rating. I feel like I don't have much more to add because I've already given a few other updates, and I don't want to give away too much more that happens in the book. So I need to pick my next read for this video, and like I said, the title is supposed to have summer in it. So even if it's like a summery book, like takes place in the summer, has summer activities, I can't read it unless summer is in the title. So I'm just gonna show you some of my options. We have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I think this is like a friends to lovers, second chance romance. And then I also have One Golden Summer. I have no idea what One Golden Summer is about, but I've heard that I should read Every Summer After before I read One Golden Summer. So if I were to read this, these two would kind of go like hand in hand. Okay, goodbye pumpkin. And then another option that I have right next to me is Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. This is like, I think, an adult summer camp with fake dating, because the female main character told her boss that she has a husband, but she doesn't have a husband. So now she needs to find someone who will pretend to be her husband, I'm pretty sure. I've heard this one's just like a really funny, perfect summer romance. So that could be fun. Honestly, like, the summer we ran was kind of dark, was kind of deep. There's definitely some very sad things that happen in this book. Actually, like, a lot of sad things that happen in this book, honestly. So I'm like, I kind of want something a little bit more lighthearted now. Even though that wasn't, like, bad, like, super dark or anything. Like, I could definitely read another book like that. But since I'm trying to mood read and, yeah, just pick books based on my mood while still trying to stay in, like, this video's theme, I don't know if I want another book like that right this second. Oh, I also have Malibu Summer by Libby Gill. This one is a romance. It says, lose yourself in this opposite attract romance set on a sunny Malibu hillside. So obviously it's gonna be summery, but I do think this one's more sad because, oh yeah, the female main character, her husband has passed away in an accident, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to read that right now after some of, like, the heavier topics discussed in the summer we ran. I'm like, I need a fluffy palette cleanser, maybe something like that. I think I have a few more books with summer in the title. Hold on. I have Bad Summer People. This is like a mystery thriller, I think. I actually started it, like, I don't know how well you can see, but I still have a bookmark in it from when I started it, and I just wasn't, like, feeling like a mystery thriller at the time, so I put it down. And then summer passed, and I was like, I'm not gonna pick this up any other time other than the summer, and I do want to read this one. But again, it just, like, wasn't the right time to. So this is another contender, and I feel like even though it's like a mystery thriller and there's probably, like, dark things happening in this, it's not, like, emotionally going to wreck me, right? Okay, with all that being said, I think the next one I'm going to start is Till Summer Do Us Part, because I think this one just sounds really fun, and I feel like none of the other options right now are, like, speaking to me that much. So we'll see what I want to read after I read this, because this is just going to be, like, fluffy, probably no thought, and I'll probably want something with thought after this one. So yeah, this is the next book I'm going to pick for today's video. Are you guys ready to see a secret talent that I have? Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. It's currently morning for me. I am laying in bed with my cats. They just got shaved this week, so they're cold and they want to be, like, snuggled up and tucked in. Okay, anywho, I started Till Summer Do Us Part this morning, and I'm about 100 pages in. It's a little bit of a thicker romance book. It's just over 400 pages, which I don't really mind when books like this are a little bit longer, because let's be real, you're getting more of your money's worth out of it than if it's longer, right? And I feel like this one, even though it's longer, it's gonna go by super fast because the first 100 pages have already flown by. Like, it's very, very simple writing, which is what you would expect in, like, a cheesy romance book. But this book is about Scotty, our female main character, and Wilder, our male main character. And Scotty works for this, like, golf company, and everyone that works with her is, like, always talking about their marriage. And Scotty is recently divorced, but none of her coworkers know that. So when Scotty's boss comes in for a visit, she tells her boss she has plans with her husband this weekend. Scotty is like, I don't know why I told her that, because I literally don't have a husband. But now Scotty's boss wants Scotty and her husband to go to, like, marriage counseling, because Scotty told her the reason she doesn't talk about her husband is because they're going through a rough patch. Scotty doesn't have a husband at all anymore to have a rough patch with. So Scotty's in a predicament because she agrees to go to this marriage counseling that her boss's husband does. And yeah, again, Scotty doesn't have a husband. So she goes to her friends, she complains, and one of her friends says that his brother, Wilder, could pretend to be her husband for this marriage counseling because Scotty does not want to embarrass herself in front of her boss and like her whole company, the coworkers, everything. She thinks that she would get fired if she got caught lying to her boss about that, because at her company, they're all like very family oriented. Like, marriage is very, very important to them. Relationships are very, very important to them. So Scotty meets Wilder and they go to this couples counseling pretending to be like in a rough patch. And then the therapist says that they are invited to this like summer camp for marriages, basically marriage counseling but at a summer camp. So now that is where Scotty and Wilder are, and this book is already so funny. Like, I have literally been smiling to myself and laughing to myself, which is so embarrassing so many times already just in the first 100 pages. Also, this book is spicy. They talk about sexual things a lot in the book, which I don't mind. I don't like need spice in my books, but if it's good, it's welcome, basically. And just the things that they say about that has been really funny so far. I do think we're definitely going to get into more deeper topics with Scotty and with Wilder throughout the book, but right now it's just been really fun. Hoping to get into some more of the summery vibes once I am reading more about them at the camp. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on with a quick little update on Till Summer Do Us Part, and I'll be back with another update at some point today. Maybe you'll see me reading outside in the next few clips. Who knows? Hi guys, back with a reading update on Till Summer Do Us Part. Also, you guys have never seen this room before. This is my storage room / my husband's office. So that's why we have that going on over there and then all this going on over here. This was actually one of my childhood bedrooms turned to storage. Basically, yeah, I was just like, they're probably going to be very thrown off on what's behind me. Anywho's, it's been a few days since I talked to you. I think the last update I gave you, I was like, I'm going to go read outside. And I did read outside for a little bit, but I did not film reading out there at all because it was so hot. I was literally sweating, like dripping sweat. And I am someone that doesn't usually sweat like that much. Like, I'll get a little sweaty, but literally dripping sweat because it was like 90 degrees. There was no breeze or anything. It was just still 90-degree air and it was disgusting out. So I was like, I'm not filming out here. So then I came back inside. I read a good bit. And then yesterday was just like really kind of busy for me. So I was just reading here and there when I got a chance. So I didn't really film or give any updates yesterday. But I am back today with an update. What is going on with my hair? I finished Till Summer Do Us Part. And it was really, really cute. So this is my first Megan Quinn book, I'm pretty sure. And it definitely did not disappoint. I feel like as for like plot and telling you about more of the book, there's not really more for me to tell you because Scotty and Wilder are at this summer camp, like fake dating, faking a marriage, because this is like a marriage counseling summer camp for adults. So they're doing all these like counseling exercises and starting to slowly fall for each other throughout. Even though it's fake dating, there are definitely real feelings there and the spice heats up, let me tell you. Like, this whole book is pretty spicy, just like talking about spicy stuff and it not even really happening yet. But once the spice does heat up, like, it's good spice, but it was very, very, very frequent. So I just skimmed some of the spice chapters because, again, not that the spice was bad, but when it's being done over and over and over again, it does get a little repetitive. And I was like, I'm not reading this book for the spice. So I just kind of skim over and breeze over those parts when I'm not feeling it. And I feel like you could definitely do that with this book. Like, the spice is not what's making their relationship. It is everything else. Like, Wilder showing Scotty. Wilder is basically treating Scotty how she deserves to be treated and showing her how she deserves to be treated because she was in a really bad marriage with a guy who just like a douchebag and did not care about her and did not treat her the way that any woman deserves to be treated in a relationship, especially a marriage. And Scotty's having a really hard time with that because she was only ever like in that long-term relationship and marriage being treated like that. So she doesn't really see her self-worth at first. So I think it's really beautiful that Wilder was showing her how she deserves to be treated and always, always, always telling her that. Like, Wilder, he's a man of a word of affirmations. Like, that is what he does. And it's so freaking sweet. And then Wilder has some of his own issues as well, just with his family and feeling like his brother is very dependent on him, like mentally and emotionally. And it's hard for Wilder to want to open up in relationships when he feels like he's being depended on so much by his family. He feels like he can't have a person in a relationship depending on him as well. So it's really interesting seeing his character development too. And I will just say, like, Wilder, he's kind of like a hipster emo type male main character, and usually I would never, like, that would not be my type in real life whatsoever, but reading about it was really fun and so different. I feel like I've never read a book with a male main character that's like hipster like that, so that was really, really interesting. And Scotty also was like, this is super different, not usually what I'm into, but just reading her like deal with it too, I don't know. Good summer vibes. Obviously they're at a summer camp, they're doing like camp activities and such. I did really enjoy this. I think I'm gonna go with a 4-star rating for this one. There were some points where I was annoyed with both characters. Like, they were just really frustrating me with things that they were saying and then things that they were doing, and kind of miscommunication, not bad miscommunication. Like, I hate the third act breakups in books that are purely miscommunication. Like, it makes me so mad. So when a book doesn't have that, it makes me very, very happy. And this book didn't have like a miscommunication trope per se. It was more so just when Wilder and Scotty were still like friends and fake dating, not like romantic together when they were fake dating. And just like some miscommunication there. Again, nothing huge. And it's not my favorite romance I've ever read, but I did really enjoy it. So that's why I'm gonna go with 4 stars, and I will see you when I pick out my next summer read for this video. Well, this lighting is atrocious, but I do have a reading update for you guys on Malibu Summer. I am a little over 100 pages into this, I think. Yeah. And I started this yesterday, actually, and yesterday was so hot. It was like 90 degrees out. I think the heat index was up to 100 degrees, so... Oh my god. I breathed weird, and I like choked myself on the air. Anywho's, yesterday was so hot. We set up kiddie pools in the backyard and had like a pool day in the backyard all day because it was so hot. And yeah, so I read this a bit outside yesterday, and then today I also read outside for a little bit. It's been kind of like muggy out today. It stormed last night, so then this morning was still kind of muggy from that. So I did have a little bit of reading time yesterday and today combined to read the 100 pages. And this isn't as summery as the title would make you think, because a lot of it so far has taken place in the fall time. Actually, you start in the summer, but it's only summer for like a few chapters and then it's fall. And now we're in winter, but they're in Malibu, so it's like you have nice weather all year round, right? Whereas like in Minnesota, we have nice weather for the 3 months of summer, and then the rest of it is like winter. We don't really have much of other seasons in Minnesota. So even though it hasn't really been taking place in the summer, the weather is just always kind of summery, but there's not really any summer activities or anything going on in this either. It's actually quite sad because I'm finally getting to what this book is about. It is following Ivy and Conrad. It's just third person POV, so you're seeing each character not necessarily through their eyes, but just through like a narrator's eyes. And Ivy is 31 years old, I think. Wait, is that right? Yeah, I think she's 31, and she recently lost her husband in a bicycle accident. And then Conrad, I think, is in his 40s, but his wife also just passed away. She was an actress, and he is like a TV show producer or something, or he like writes the scripts or something like that. I don't know TV production or Hollywood production whatsoever. So he does something like that. Conrad is living at this estate that he had with his wife and his stepson. And Ivy is now going to work as the gardener at the estate because she is a soil scientist, an inventor of a game-changing organic irrigation system. That is probably the most unique job I have ever read someone having in a book, okay? So yeah, she goes to take this job, and it's really confusing because on the back of the book, like the synopsis, it's like she takes a summer job as a gardener. Girl, she don't even get there until the fall, so what do you mean summer job? That is not correct. I don't know if we're gonna like get to summer again at some point, but yeah, like I said, right now we're in winter. When do we get to spring? I should see. Let me flip through this quick to see. Okay, we get to spring. Chapter 32. When do we get to summer? Because this book is under 300 pages, actually. So, I'm like, how much of this is actually going to take place in the summer? Oh, chapter 40. This is how much of the book is going to take place in the summer. This little sliver right here. So why are we called Malibu Summer? And why are we saying she takes a summer job? Again, like I can't be too mad because even though it's been in the fall so far, it really hasn't been like fall vibes whatsoever. I don't know. We're just like following Ivy and Conrad on their day-to-day basis and how they're dealing with their grief of losing their spouses. Nothing has really happened with Ivy and Conrad yet. I don't know if it's going to, but Conrad is now a single stepfather to his stepson from his marriage, and I think we're probably going to see the stepson have a little bit more of a role in the book because the stepson and Ivy have been interacting and just like crossing paths. And yeah, I'm just like confused if this is supposed to be a romance because it does says when Ivy finds the key to Hudson's heart, Hudson is the stepson, Conrad's own heart begins to melt as well, and then the sparks that fly are the ones that kindle the best kind of love affair. But, like, we're almost halfway through the book, and there's been no romance yet, so I'm like, that's kind of strange if you're gonna, like, call yourself a romance book, but then you guys haven't even interacted? Like, I'm all for slow burn. But when the characters don't even know each other, they've spoken, like, a few sentences to each other. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely, like, a fast-paced read. Each chapter is, like, maybe 5 pages, so you can just flip through. It's actually really nice because I'm the type of person who, like, doesn't want to put the book down and go do something until I finish a chapter. So when the chapters are that short, I'm able to, like, take breaks and go do something and not just read the book longer than I should, right? Like, I shouldn't be ignoring responsibilities. Yeah, I feel like I don't really have anything else to say as of right now. I'll come back if I do. I did not think this book would take me as long to get through because the chapters are short and it's just a shorter book in general. But I just feel like I am kind of slumpy from this book because not too much is happening. It's very, very, very mundane. But like I said, we'll see. We'll continue. I don't know why I said will continue. I'll continue to read. And like I said, give you an update if something happens, or yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Alright guys, I have finally finished Malibu Summer. I think it's been, what? I started it on Friday and it's now Tuesday. So this one definitely took me a hot minute to get through, so I'm very, very happy to be done with it. Honestly, because I was bored a majority of the time. I actually really liked the beginning of the book. I was like, wow, this is a great setup. I really like how we're following both Ivy and Conrad's perspectives after they have lost their spouses, and now how Ivy and Conrad's life is gonna kind of intertwine with one another based on the work that they're doing. I really, really like that setup, but then it just got so boring and so redundant. Why is it called Malibu Summer when literally maybe like 10% of the book takes place in the summer? And also, why does it say lose yourself in this opposite attracts romance set on a sunny Malibu hillside? Like, there is hardly any romance, and then when you do get the romance, it is just not good. It was a bit heartwarming. I do like how we got to follow both of the characters throughout their grief journey, but also I don't feel like it was enough. Like, some books can be really, really helpful in portraying grief, but this one I feel like just kind of breezes past it. Like, you don't really get a deep dive into the grief, and I feel like a deep dive is always more helpful because then you're not like getting to, I don't know how to explain it really, but I was really, really hoping to love this one because it sounded like a really, really heartwarming story, and I was excited for a little bit of romance. I was excited for a fun, summery setting in the middle of grief. I don't know, that just sounded interesting to me. But unfortunately, this book fell very, very flat. I think I'm gonna go with a 2-star rating, so I would not recommend this one, unfortunately. That is the last book that I'm going to read for this video today, so let's do a quick recap of the other 2 books I read. I started off reading The Summer We Ran, and this one I really, really enjoyed. I could not put it down. This story just sucked me in, and I didn't want to put it down until I finished the book. This was probably my favorite read of the video because I just feel like there was a deeper story there than just like a fluffy romance, and I always love when books are a little bit more emotional and you can really feel the characters, like they're not just words on paper. It feels like real characters, so I really, really enjoyed that about this one. And I read Till Summer Do Us Part, and this one I loved for like the complete opposite reason. This is such a great summer rom-com. Like, when books are genuine rom-coms, they're good and I will eat it up. I also love this one, but again, I do just think I love The Summer We Ran a little bit more because it had more emotional depth than this one. But again, if you're looking for a fluffy romance, this is it. And that is where I'm going to leave you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel down below. Also, I would just like to point out that last night, Haley Pham liked and commented on my Instagram post. Like, Haley Pham knows what my face looks like. Flabbergasted, literally the best moment of my life. Not my wedding, none of that, no. Haley Pham liking and commenting on my Instagram post. Anywho's, as always, please comment any book videos you would like to see from me in the future, or I guess it doesn't have to be book related. I kind of want to branch out into like lifestyle content as well. And I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye!